Living. I am Reverend Loretta Brooks, and it's very nice to see each and every one of you here this morning. How about that last week, huh? That was incredible. So he's coming back. He's going to be back with us on October 14th, Michel Pascal. He's coming back to do another workshop. His meditations are so amazing, and I'm very grateful for that. Okay, so we're continuing with our theme of faith. We will have our wonderful spiritual mind treatment, which will be done by our licensed practitioner, Fannie Munlin. And I just want to say before Fannie starts that I know that all of you, when you come in, you may be feeling a certain way, but when you leave, you'll be feeling another way, because I say that all the time, and I really mean that. So please help me welcome Barbara Munlin. I'm saying Fannie, Barbara. Twins.
The twins. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Okay, I'm ready. You all ready? Okay, let's go on this journey together, soaring in consciousness. For we realize, recognize, understand, and accept that there is but one mind, one power, one presence, action, activity in the universe. God, omnipotent, right where we are as we are. We are one in spirit, in mind, in body, in thought, in action, activity, with the creative mind, the creative power. That is all that there is. And in this consciousness, in this recognition and acceptance of the truth of our being, we are guided, guarded, directed, and protected in everything we do. Every thought, every action, and every activity is God in the midst of us, expressing as pure and perfect health, wealth, love, and creative self-expression. For this is our nature. And if there are any thoughts, any beliefs, any ideas, any experience, any doubt in the mind of anyone here about his or her own true nature, his or her ability, about the health, wealth, and love, these doubts, apprehension, fears are, by the power of this word, uprooted, dissolved, eliminated, erased, cast back to the nothingness from which they came. For we are rich. We are the sons and daughters of the King. We are heirs to the kingdom. We are inspired, motivated by spirit. We are living our highest and utmost perfect life right here and now as who and what we are. We are wonderful, magnificently made. We are experiencing the joy of God as our true nature. Unbound, infinite supply is ours for the asking. And we ask, we seek, and we receive. We are grateful for all that we have, all that we will be, all that we're doing, each and every idea, each and every experience, for we know that in back of the idea, in back of the experience, in back of who and what we are, is the omnipotent, omnipresent energy, life force, creativity of God itself as our being, as our nature, as our lives. And we are grateful that it is so. And so it is.
Thank you for that beautiful treatment, Barbara. That will set the tone for our lesson and our experience today. And now please help me welcome Emily Howard. She's our licensed practitioner, and she's going to do our reading today. Emily?
Good morning. My reading is from 365, Signs of Mind. It's called Faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11, first verse. Faith is more than objective statement. We do not have perfect faith while any subjective contradictions deny the affirmations of our lips. This is why the Bible tells us that we must know in our heart. Heart symbolizes the innermost center of the being. When the intellect is no longer contradicted by our emotional reactions, by unconscious doubts and fears, Then the word of our mouth will immediately bear fruit. Today I have faith that my word shall not return unto me void. Today I surrender myself completely to this faith, for I know that there is a creative spirit that gives substance to this faith, and that will provide the evidence of this substance in actual fact. I expect then to meet my good, and I rejoice in the anticipation of this good. I know that my faith operates through an immutable law, and that there is no possibility whatsoever of its failing. It is this science of faith we are seeking to uncover, a definite technique that will conduct our minds through a process of thought, if necessary, to that place that the sublime minds of all ages have reached by direct intuition. Science of Mind, page 160. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful reading on faith. And now I have so many announcements that I don't know what to do. So I guess I should start. So the first announcement that I have is that this coming Wednesday, we are going to begin a series on prosperity with Barbara Munlin. And Barbara's going to be using books from Catherine Ponder, and it is at the Unitarian Universalist Center on Wednesday night from 6:30
to roughly 8:15.
Okay.
It's West 76th Street, right off Central Park West, and we're going to be using several books by Catherine Ponder. The first one we're going to be using is Open Your Mind to Receive. You don't have to buy the book the way I'm getting, go through it. It'll give you all of the information you'll need.
So.
You can have it if you want to, but it's not required.
So Open Your Mind to Receive with Catherine Ponder, that's going to begin this Wednesday night. We have series that will be ongoing, and that's the first thing. The second announcement is that on Wednesday, October 17th, we have Carol Look. And I have worked with Carol Look, and she is an amazing, amazing teacher. She teaches what's called the emotional freedom technique, which is starting to be used in schools throughout the country. It's a way to unpack your emotions, and it's really fabulous. And she's one of the best teachers in the country. Here in New York, we don't fool around. We get the best of everything. She's really a friend, and she's agreed to do this for each and every person for 2 hours for only $40. So that's Wednesday, October 17th. There are flyers on the back table about that. So that was the second thing. The third thing is I am going to start teaching a class called Shortcut to a Miracle. This was done by Reverend Elizabeth Arnott and her husband. They wrote the book together. I was on the phone with her on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to teaching that class. It's going to be transformative. I really believe that. And it's accredited, so you can take that toward your Science of Mind work that you're doing. So that was the third thing. And now I'd also like to recognize a very honored member guest in our audience, Reverend Carol Lynch. So Carol, welcome to our center. I've known Reverend Carol for a very long time, and it's really good to see you here as a part of our community, so thank you. Okay, so I think I got everything. If I didn't, then I'll let you know during the service or something, but right now it's time for all of us to wish each other a very happy Sunday. So let's do that now. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Melba. All is well. All is well. We do this every week. It's a wonderful way. And now we're going to have some amazing music. So we have one of our own here. Her name is Melba, and she's going to be doing a tune called I Believe with Yoichi. So please help me welcome Melba and Yoichi. Melba.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's wonderful to see your beautiful faces. So Yoichi and I are going to do I Believe. a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe, I believe, I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Melba Joyce, ladies and gentlemen. And Yoichi, of course, the master. The magic of Yoichi. We cannot forget Yoichi. He was really wonderful. They came in this morning and they didn't know what they were doing. I think they did pretty well, right? Yes. See, we tell the truth here. And speaking of the truth, I'm going to be speaking to you today about faith as an idea from our teaching. I think we can all use a little more faith in our lives, a little more belief, a little more knowingness, so that's what I'm speaking to you about this morning. And I did forget something with the announcements. The man who was here last week, Michel Pascal, he's coming back on the 14th of October. So if you missed it, you can ask people in here. It's an amazing journey that he takes you on. And I got his little, what do you call those things you put in the computer? Thank you, USB. I got one of those, and you put it in the computer, and it plays all of his music, and it's absolutely beautiful. I wrote the lesson listening to his Om. That's how I wrote this lesson. So I really know that you're going to enjoy it as much as I will. And now I'd like to start out with Emmett Fox. We all know who Emmett Fox is. So Emmett Fox, Barbara Munlin always talks about the golden key. So I wanted to start with this because this is really what I'm talking about. When you have faith in something, this is what he says. He says, spiritual treatment is really knowing the truth about a given condition. There appears to be something wrong. Someone may be sick, there's inharmony or lack. But instead of accepting this, you remind yourself of the truth. This is really what we're talking about with faith as an idea. We are reminding ourselves of this truth. And this truth is that we have faith in something. Faith then, as an idea, is really allowing yourself to remind yourself of this truth. The truth says that I have faith. The truth says that I am believing in something. However, when you are believing in something, it's a little bit like this. But when you come from the mind, when you come from the Spirit of God, you are knowing yourself as God knows you. And you are having the faith. You become then a knower of the truth. So we all have our challenges. But when we let go of them and we know the truth about something, the truth with a capital T, that is when we have our faith in it. We use our form of spiritual mind treatment to create good in our lives each and every day. And I did a lesson a couple weeks ago which said, your faith has made you whole. You are all whole, perfect, and complete. And when you come from this idea of faith, rather than doubt, rather than fear, you are walking with Spirit everywhere you go. And when you begin to know this and when you begin to accept it, it begins to change not only who you are, but what you are and what you are experiencing. Because you are beginning to know yourself as a knower of the Spirit within you. You are beginning to accept yourself in a whole new way, knowing that this spirituality that is within you is blessing you, uplifting you, and inspiring you. So this past week, I had a few little challenges. My brother-in-law had open heart surgery, and people in my family are not in this teaching. So they immediately went to everything that could happen, all the negation, and I immediately went into prayer and treatment, knowing that everything would work together for his healing, his health, and his well-being. That is faith. That is faith, and that is what we do when we have the faith of this teaching. We do not go with the appearances. We walk through them, you see. We walk through the appearances knowing that we have the faith of God and that that faith is always sustaining and maintaining us, and that we are being blessed over and over and over again. That is the idea of faith. It doesn't matter what the challenge is. It is what you believe, and it is what you are willing to do with that belief or that knowingness. Faith is an idea. Doubt is an idea. Fear is an idea. Which idea do you want to manifest in your life? Do you want to manifest the faith of God, the faith of the Spirit within you, or do you want to doubt the Spirit? Spirit is never doubting you. Spirit is always saying yes to everything that we would like to do with our lives. You see, many years ago, it's going to be 10 years that I'm here. November 2nd, 10 years. That's how long we're in this community. And I used to tell people all the time that I started with nothing because I forgot. You ever do that? We forget. We forget who we are. We forget that there's something so powerful within us that it is always blessing us. We started in the map room in the back, small little room. And we kept knowing that we would be growing and growing and growing. We kept knowing that. We had that faith. And then we went to the George Washington room. Did we have nothing? No. We had something with a capital S, which is what each and every one of you in this room has. We had something. We had the Spirit of life, which is always allowing us to become more of who and what we are. Whatever it is that you are seeking, it is seeking you. This wonderful music this morning that was done was absolutely beautiful. And they came in and they didn't know, and Spirit knew, and they put everything together, and it was beautiful. This is how we are living our lives. When you live with the Spirit, you get up in the morning and you have an opportunity to begin again. Beginning with Spirit, knowing who you are. As Reverend Michael says, knowing whose you are. You are part of this great divine life. Each and every one of you in this room. I refuse to take no for an answer. That's really a good motto to have. If you really would like to demonstrate something, refuse to take no for an answer, and know that you are always demonstrating the highest and the best that you can. If you have a challenge with something, you walk through it. That's what my teacher taught me. You keep on walking through the appearances, and you keep on blessing yourself and knowing that you are a part of this great Spirit within you. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have when you have that kind of faith and commitment. Being committed to something. Are you committed to your health and well-being? You see, I got a little bit of a diagnosis this week with the bone thing. I don't have osteoporosis. I'm very grateful. But I was thinking about this, and they said, well, you need to strengthen your bones, so I'll strengthen them. I have a choice. I'm that choice. I can strengthen my bones, do something about it, or I can pretend that I'm a victim. Oh, what can I do now? I better find this out or find... No, I go right to my treatment, and I treat to know that I am healthy, whole, and complete. That's what we need to do in this work and this teaching. Prosperity is something that you know within your heart and your mind. When you get that idea, when you get faith in your own prosperity, it becomes your reality. If you're looking for work, there are a lot of people that do that. They want to improve their employment situation. You know that you already have that within you and that you are doing that. You are guided to do that. You are blessed, uplifted, and inspired. You have the faith of God. And when you have that faith, there is nothing that can take it away from you. There is no one, because it becomes your personal faith. I talked in here many years ago about a personal economy. You see, people talk about the economy all the time, but there's a personal economy, and it's yours. Do you understand? You have your own. Your economy has nothing to do with that out there. And when you begin to get that and understand it and work with the ideas that come to you from the great spirit of life, nothing stops or blocks you. It's the same thing with faith. When you have your own personal faith as an idea, when you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I am going to do this, and I will do it, and there will be nothing and no one that will stop me. Do people try and stop us? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, they do. And when you become unstoppable, you have an unwavering faith. If you have a goal, how many people in here have a goal? Yes. Maybe some of you are looking at ending your employment career, or maybe some of you are looking at beginning a new one. Whatever it is for you, you must have that personal faith within you that is your deciding factor. That is the faith as an idea that holds you up and sustains you. And every day you pray for that faith. You pray to know that I am developing faith within me. One of the things that I taught everyone many months ago, because I say it every day, I ask for and receive divine guidance. Remember I taught you that? Well, I walk with that as an idea. I ask for and I receive divine guidance, and I do. And now I have become a knower of that divine guidance. So now instead of saying that, I say, I am divinely guided. And what's the difference in those words? Words are very, very powerful. When you own something, when you make it your own, as your idea, you can say, I am. I am one with the one. I am blessed, uplifted, and inspired. I am moving out into life inspired and directed by the Spirit within me. I am divinely guided. So now this is what I say. Instead of saying I ask for and receive, I become the knower. This is faith. I become the knower, the true identity that is within me and within you. You are filled up with the Spirit of God. I am divinely guided. Can we say that? I am divinely guided. It's okay to do that. It's okay to affirm what you know. And when you know this as an idea, when you have this idea that there is a spirituality within you that can do all things, you are blessed, you are uplifted. We have many people in this room today who have had incredible demonstrations with health or wealth or well-being. This is all coming out of the Spirit of God, the Spirit that transforms our consciousness. Remember before when I said I started with nothing? How many people have ever had that thought? Just a few of you? A few of you are willing to admit it. I understand. I was a teacher. I get it. We're not perfect. We're in progress all the time. We're always in progress. We're always progressing. It's okay to say what is, because then you can go to what you really would like to have. There's no want in that. There's only the faith of God, okay? So it's progress, not perfection. When you get an idea about something, the I am divinely guided, you see? When you think that you can't do something, you just have to treat that part of you. That part of you that is saying no, whatever it is that says no, I cannot do that. Yes, I can. That is a changing of the language from doubt and fear to faith, the faith of God. And having that faith creates through us so much good, so much activity in our lives. What is it that you would like to demonstrate? That's the first thing that we need to know. We need to know what we would like to demonstrate. What is it that we would like to bring more of into our lives? For some of us, it may be love or health or well-being, improved relationships, whatever it is, we must have the faith that Spirit is within us and that we are being divinely guided. You see, I started out with the small little steps where I said, I ask for and receive divine guidance, and that's very helpful. And now I realize and I recognize through all of the months that I've been saying that it's working. Of course it's working. Of course it's working. Is it working for you? You have to ask yourself that question. And if it's not working for you, what are you setting up within you that says no? We're the ones that say no. Spirit never says no to us. As long as we hurt no one, as long as we don't hurt ourselves, Spirit is always blessing, uplifting, and inspiring us. And every day is a new beginning. That's what I love about this teaching. There's not many people teaching this stuff out there. Have you noticed that? And the world is crying for this. I've just heard some wonderful things when I was speaking with Reverend Elizabeth on Sunday. She was telling me that they're beginning to put this out into the world. There's a lot of different things going on with this teaching and different books that are coming out. And the book that she wrote called Shortcut to a Miracle is what I'm teaching at the end of October. It's going to be a wonderful class because we can demonstrate miracles every day. The other side of faith is, what are you expecting for yourself? How many people get up every morning and say, I expect today to be a great day? Yes, that's wonderful, yes. I expect, Yaya really expects it to be a great day, right? I expect today to be a great day, a wonderful day. A lot of times we don't do that. We get up and say, oh boy, another day, huh? Or how about this one, another day, another dollar? I'm really dating myself. Remember when people used to say that? That was a long time ago. Now we say another day, another $5,000. We like that, right? Actually, I'm saying that because I want you to understand that what you're saying about yourself is becoming your reality. You have to wake up in the morning with a new idea, an idea of faith. That's why you come here. You come here to be inspired and blessed and uplifted. And if I'm doing my work right and our community is working right, which we always are, we are blessing you, inspiring you, and uplifting you. But like I say so many times, don't just take notes. Go out and live your life with this teaching. Go out and demonstrate with this teaching. Go out with the faith of God. Go out knowing that you are blessed, uplifted, and inspired. You know, I love something that Barbara did a talk about a month or so ago. I forgot the exact date, which doesn't matter anyway. One of the ideas that she had in that talk, which was so wonderful, she did it on the 23rd Psalm. And she said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And then she did a metaphysical interpretation of that. And what she said was, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no appearances. This is what we're taught. This is where we walk. When we walk, we will walk with Spirit. Regardless of the appearances that are occurring in our lives, we will change them through the power of our faith, through the power of our revitalizing our consciousness. You see, because when you have faith, you are praying with the presence. And when you have doubt, you are praying with the absence. You see the difference? We must pray with the presence, not the absence, because your consciousness is being touched by the Holy Spirit, whether you know it or not. If you come to Spirit with an idea of doubt, Dr. Grayson used to say, treat that doubt until it's dissipating. Let it go. Release it from your consciousness. Come to Spirit knowing that you are in the presence, knowing that you are blessed, knowing that you are uplifted and inspired. Come with the presence of God, not the absence. And when you do that, all of your treatments are going to work so beautifully for you. When you treat from the presence of God, not the absence, that is when you are developing faith as an idea in your life. Do you see? Do you see what I'm saying? The presence of the Spirit within you, it changes everything. It's not about what's going on out there. It's about what's going on in here. I have to remind myself of that every day. Every day, I have to know that the presence and the power of God is within me. When people ask me to treat for them, whether they believe it or not, I believe it. I know. This is the work that you have to do. You come from this idea of faith and knowingness. There's an inner knowing within you. And as you work with these ideas, everything in your life begins to be transformed. Your consciousness is blessed. What do you want your consciousness to look like? I remember many years ago when I was teaching, I said, you know, when you take a shower every day, it cleanses your physical body, right? When you don't take a shower every day, it creates challenges. Yes. So it's the same thing with our thinking and our minds. Do you understand? Your mind gets clouded, folks. We all have this stuff going on around us, going on from other people. So cleanse your consciousness each and every day by doing your spiritual mind treatment. By cleansing your consciousness, I mean doing your spiritual work, saying a prayer that God is guiding and directing you, blessing your life, uplifting you and inspiring you, and knowing that that is the truth for you, knowing that you are being blessed. This is faith. Faith is not absence. Faith is presence. Faith is really such a blessing for each and every one of us this morning. So if you are called to faith and you are not making a demonstration, go back to faith as an idea. Go back to the presence and the power of God. I wanted to quote something that I wrote down. Your faith is personal. No one can take it from you. I've said that already. When you have a personalized faith, when you have faith in God, this is something that no one can take from you. No one can take that as an idea. That is an idea that you have and that you alone can work with. Faith as an idea becomes your reality. You have faith in yourself and faith in other people. I have 2 grandchildren. I have faith in them. I know that they are blessed. I know that if they asked me for my house, I'd probably give them the keys. That's the other challenge, right? If you have your family, the people that you love, have faith in them as well, even if you don't agree with some of the things they're doing. Have a faith in them. Have a faith in the relationship. Know that it's growing and it's becoming more and more supportive, more and more loving, that you are loved by the Spirit within you, that you come to your prayer work with the presence, not the absence. That is really the key to this lesson this morning, that you pray from this presence within you, that you respect it and you know that it is good, and you know that it is blessing you all of the time. Spirit is not a part-time worker. Spirit is a full-time worker, always working through you. Wayne Dyer talks about going to sleep at night, and he says, before you go to sleep at night, you need to say, I am blessed, I am uplifted, I am inspired. I watched a movie last night. I'm not going to tell you which one because it was not a good movie. In fact, I was watching it and saying, Loretta, why are you watching this movie? Yet I kept on watching it. You ever do that? Yes, we all do that. So I have to pull myself back. This is the thing that we have. We have this anchor, and we have the ability to pull ourselves back with this teaching. Regardless of what's going on around us, we can come back to the Spirit within. We can always pray. So before I watched this movie, I was listening to Michel Pascal. He was doing the Om meditation, and it was beautiful. This is part of the human condition, and I'm part of it too. We all are. You know, I listen to him doing the Om, and I feel all this beauty and serenity, and then I turn on this movie. I can't even tell you the name of it. You wouldn't believe it, so I'll leave it out. But anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because we all were humans, but we have this ability with this teaching to pull ourselves back. We don't have to keep going down that road. We can pull ourselves back to the presence and the power and the glory of the Holy Spirit. This is really what is our version of life. Our version of life is very different because we have this idea of oneness. That is where our faith comes from. I want to talk to you about Jim Lockhart. I just got a message from him yesterday. In his book, he says something. He wrote a book called Sacred Thinking. He's one of my favorite ministers. He now lives in Paris with his lovely wife. And he said this, Spirit treats us as if we know what we are doing. Isn't that great? That is so Jim Lockhart. Spirit treats us as if we know what we are doing. So maybe we better start to know what we are doing. Isn't that really the message that he's talking about? Because if we begin to know what we are doing, if we begin to know that we are being guided, we are being blessed, uplifted, and inspired, that we have the presence of God within us, and we know what we are doing, and we are creating with God great things in our lives. People say, well, I'm afraid. I don't know if I should make a change or not. If you want to make a change, you have that fear. But Susan Jeffers wrote a wonderful book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Wonderful book. We all get to do that in our lives. When you conquer that fear, there's magic on the other side of it. You know, I remember when I was at the high school and I was young to be retiring. It was a long time ago. I retired young. I could have stayed there another 10 years. I made a decision. This is Raymond Charles Barker. The power of decision. What are you deciding every day for your life? If Spirit is for you, then you have to be for you too, yes? So when you are for you, you are practicing the presence and not the absence. So if you're afraid of something and you conquer that fear, you feel a lot better, yes? Yes. A lot of people are afraid of public speaking. A lot of people don't like to get up and give talks and, get torn apart or whatever happens to you. I really don't know what happens to you because I don't pay much attention to it. I just keep talking. But anyway, that's the best way. Thank you, Fannie. But I really believe in my heart of hearts that if you are practicing the presence, everything works out for you. Everything is always going to work out for you. If you're walking with Spirit, remember that wonderful talk that Barbara gave about the 23rd Psalm. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. That's only an appearance, you see. You're walking through the appearance, and the appearance is really in your head. What you are afraid of is the teacher. The teaching moment is there for you. Whatever it is that you are afraid of, when you conquer that fear, you begin to develop more and more faith each and every day. I shared a couple weeks ago about standing on the podium at Lincoln Center and speaking, and I wasn't afraid of the people out there. I was afraid of Dr. Grayson. He was in the back. I was very fearful, and my legs were shaking, so I was glad there was something in front of me. But I was very, very happy because after I did it once or twice, I was okay with it. And he was not the person that so many people thought he was. He was a wonderful human being. He was an incredible teacher. I knew him. And he could be very challenging with people, there's no doubt. But he was always doing it with love. I believe that. You see, it's what you believe. It's what you hold in your heart about someone. And if you refuse to give something up, if you want to hang on to all that anger and resentment and fear, be my guest. That's your choice. But as for me, I want to choose differently today. I want to choose to practice the presence, not the absence. Not the absence, but the presence. I want to go to Spirit knowing that my consciousness is truly being transformed. Because I know that it is. Each and every day, I am becoming more and more creative. You have to say that to yourself, because nobody else is going to say it for you. You have to be the one to have that kind of faith. And I wanted to end this lesson this morning with something I think that's very, very special. It's something that Dr. Grayson wrote, and then I wrote something as well. Dr. Grayson said, and I quote, "Identify yourself as a center of divine creativity in perfect action." I'll say that again. Identify yourself as a center of divine creativity in perfect action. That's Dr. Grayson's quote. He's talking about what are you identifying yourself with. And when you begin to have faith, the power, the presence, you begin to shift. You begin to change your consciousness so that you can walk with Spirit. You can walk through the appearances knowing that you have the faith, that you have the presence. And then I wrote a prayer, and this prayer is from me to you, and I'd like to share it with you this morning. And the prayer goes like this: I encounter the transformative power of the divine. Centered in my divine identity, I am one with the great Spirit of life. My mind and God's mind are one. Knowing Spirit is the directing power of my life. I am on a journey with the divine, and everywhere I go, there I am. The divine power within me and within you is always producing more good in each and every one of our worlds. We are filled with the spiritual idea of faith, and our faith has made us whole. And so ends our lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.